What's going on, everybody? Ronnie DiMaggio here, product specialist at BMW of Morristown, and in today's video we're going to be doing a walk around and overview with this 2023 BMW M440i Convertible. So the M440 can be had in three different body styles. So you have the four-door, the Grand Coupe, you have the Coupe, the two-door, and then you have the Convertible, of course. So in today's video, we're going to be going over some of the things that are specific to the convertible, some of the roof operations, things like that. We'll also talk about the front end styling, the styling of the whole car, the powertrain, and things like that. We'll give you a full overview of the M440. So let's start with the powertrain options. Under the hood, there actually are no powertrain options for the M440. All M440 models come with the B58, but of course, if you want, you can get the 430, which is a 4-cylinder as opposed to this M440's 6-cylinder. So it is a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6 that makes 382 horsepower, 368 pound-feet of torque. It is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission as the only transmission option. And if you take a look in the rear section of the engine bay, you can see those purple wires, which are part of the mild hybrid system. So all B58s in the future will have that mild hybrid system. And it's a 48-volt system, so it's not a plug-in hybrid or anything like that. However, it does help with torque fill, fills in those gaps that the turbocharger can miss out on as far as power delivery, helps with the start-stop function, and also helps with quieter startups and things like that. So just overall makes for a more well-rounded package here as opposed to just the B58 alone. So that's the engine. Good for 4.7 seconds to 60, by the way, when paired with all-wheel drive in the convertible. But let's talk about some of the exterior styling elements. First things first, up front you see those really prominent dual kidney grills. This was new for this generation of 4 Series, and when it first came out, it was certainly controversial, those big grills, but they've grown on me, they've grown on a lot of people, so I'm a fan of them now, especially when they're trimmed in gloss black like they are here with the Shadowline Package. You do still have some grayish accents in the grille itself, so sets it off a little bit. And you can also see behind the grille are some flaps. So right now the grille's closed, at least that top part is because the car's not running, but if you start it up and get it hot and it needs additional cooling, these flaps can actually open up to provide the engine with additional air. If we take a look at the headlights, these are a laser light, which is indicated by, well, for one, it says BMW laser in the housing, and you also more obviously have those blue accents. The laser lights look really nice, especially on the M440. They have that full running light there, really bright projectors for your low beams and high beams, so just a great overall headlight setup. If we want to come around to the side of the car, we can take a look at these 19-inch split 5-spoke wheels. It is a bicolor design, so you have the lighter machine face on the front there, and then a darker finish on the inside of the spokes. And of course, right behind the wheels are a nice red M Sport brake caliper. And with the 50th anniversary roundel in the middle there, matching the red brake caliper, it ends up looking really well. You can option this with a standard emblem if that's what you prefer, but I think especially with Brooklyn Gray and the red brakes, I think the 50th anniversary roundel looks really good. So a 19-inch 225 wide tire up front, same deal in the back, 19-inch 225 wide tire. Again, M painted brake caliper in red with the 50th anniversary roundel. Overall, a great looking wheel and tire package. As far as the side profile, obviously it's a little different than the Coupe or the Grand Coupe as a result of it being a convertible. So you can see that convertible roof stops nice and abruptly, gives it a little bit of an aggressive side profile for a convertible. The A-pillar is also nicely raked, so it has a nice downward angle to it, so it looks sporty and sleek, like the air just flows right over it, which it does. We want to look at the rear of the car. You can see you have two pretty large trapezoidal shaped exhaust tips on either side, which looks really nice. You have this gloss black lower section, and then of course a diffuser with some slatted elements, providing for a more aggressive look than what you would get on a 430, which would have round exhaust tips and a less aggressive rear end. You also have these nice vents on the side here, trimmed in gloss black, just to give an extra little bit of styling depth to the rear end of the car. Of course, the 50th anniversary roundel is continued with the integrated rear view camera. And then your xDrive and M440 badges are finished in a matte silver, cerium gray type of finish. So overall, really nice looking car, well proportioned, not too big for what it is. It has grown, it's more grown into a Grand Tourer sort of vehicle, but it's the right size if you want a convertible that's actually usable. It looks really nice. So that's going to do it for the exterior styling. Let's talk about trunk space and rear seat space. If you do want to use it as your everyday car, it's probably stuff you're interested in. And then, of course, we'll hop into the cockpit and go over some of the technology and driver-focused touch points and things like that. So let's start with the trunk and the back seat. All right, so here we are around back of the M440 convertible to talk about some of its storage space, practicality elements, starting, of course, with the trunk. You can see right now we have the top down, and behind this partition is where the top is stored. You can feel it under there. You can't move this partition when the top is down, so this is your storage space if you want to drive with the top down. Still pretty impressive. You can store things underneath the top storage area there, and of course you can store them further back than that in the trunk. But as you guys are going to see in this clip that we'll put in now, when the top is in its up position, your storage space increases a lot because that partition goes away. So you can manage pretty good storage in the back of the M440 with the top up, but that will do it for the trunk. Let's come around to the side of the car and talk about the rear seat space. So this car is equipped to seat 4 people, and it can actually do that surprisingly well for a relatively small coupe. All you have to do is pull this lever on the back of the driver's seat and it will move its way forward. Now, the special benefit of the convertible is that to get in the back, you can kind of just stand up back here and then sit down pretty easily. As opposed to a coupe, you have to kind of crawl in, which can be a little bit difficult. But in the back of the convertible, you can see I have infinite headroom and my leg room is pretty good. I'm sitting behind my own driving position. I'm perfectly comfortable back here. A second person would be perfectly comfortable as well. So pretty nice place to be with the top down. It really feels extra open in the back seat. And of course, if you want to get out, you just pull that lever. You can stand right up and then step out. It really couldn't be easier to get into the back seat. So much easier than a coupe, for example. So in that aspect, the convertible is actually a little more practical than the coupe as far as getting in and out of the back seat. If that's something that's going to be a big problem for you in the coupe, then the convertible might be the way to go for that. And with the top up, the storage space in the trunk is a little less than the coupe, but really not bad at all, as you guys saw. So with that said, that's going to do it for the rear seat space as well as the trunk. Really quickly, we want to splice in some clips of the top going up and down in case you're curious what that looks like. So take a look at those and then we'll hop in the front seat and go over the cockpit. All right, so here we are inside of the M440 with the top down and the sun is starting to come out. So perfect weather for a convertible, really nice, open, obviously airy and sunny atmosphere on a nice day in the convertible, which is super nice. So let's talk about some of the things that are specific to the convertible. For one, of course, that's going to include the top operation. And if you want to look down at the center console, we can see where the controls are a little bit different for the convertible. So you have 3 convertible unique buttons right here. These buttons on the left and right are the neck warmers, which is my favorite feature in the 440 convertible and in all new BMW convertibles. So you can turn that on, and what happens is the headrests blow nice hot air at varying levels, depending on what you want, out onto the back of your neck, which is so nice when it's cold out. Maybe not cold out, but a chilly day, 50 degrees or something, but it's sunny and you want the top down. It is such a nice, comfortable feature. You can actually take a look at the back of the headrest and you can see in the underneath portion there, if we lift this up, where the air goes in, and then of course it comes out on the front and blows that cold air onto your neck, which is super comfortable. So the air scarf, as some people call it, or the neck warmer, is really nice. And of course, this is your button for raising and lowering the convertible top. You do hold it, and then the top will go up or down depending on what you press. We have another convertible unique button over on the driver's door panel. If you can get a look at that, that would be this button right here. So this button controls all 4 windows, as opposed to having to press either of the 2 buttons. That button is only found in convertibles. I kind of wish it was in sedans and all cars, because sometimes you just want to drop all the windows. It'd be nice to have that kind of a button. And speaking of the windows, if you want to take a look at how they are arranged on the rear of the car, as you can see, you do have rear windows that can be rolled up and down, independent of the front windows, and even when the top is up. So if you want to, you could actually have the top up, front windows up, and those little rear sections open, which is kind of a funny configuration. Not sure why you'd want that, but it is nice to have all windows independently opening, I guess, if you want that configuration for whatever reason. Especially when the top's down, it's really nice to have all the windows down and get the full open air experience. But as for the cockpit itself, we do have iDrive 8. For 2023, we didn't get any iDrive, or iDrive 7, I'm sorry, is what we're running in here. For 2023, we did not get iDrive 8, is what I meant to say. It will come eventually to the 4 Series. With the LCI, might be a good time to expect it, maybe later. But of course, it's coming to every model at some point. So expect it in the not-so-distant future, maybe with the LCI. But we don't have the exact details on when it will come to the 4 Series. But the 3 Series just got iDrive 8, so I'd expect it sometime soon. But anyway, with iDrive 7, we do, of course, have a touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, enhanced Bluetooth capability, all that good stuff that you would expect or maybe have come to become accustomed to. With iDrive 7, we, of course, have a fully digital gauge cluster, which is customizable with the BC button. And in iDrive, you can change what's displayed in the center there. We have a heads-up display as well with the premium package, which is nice to see. As far as the driver touch points, they're all really nice. You have a 3-spoke steering wheel with the little M logo here, paddle shifters, and a really comfortable seat with that neck warmer, especially makes it ultra comfortable in cooler weather. You have a manually retractable thigh support. You have independently adjustable lower sections as well as back sections as well, like you would expect. So comfortable seat, and adjustable bolsters as well if you want the seats to hug you in a little bit more. As far as visibility, it is fantastic with a convertible. You don't have a B or C pillar to contend with when you're checking your blind spot, so you have great visibility out of the front and the back as well. The shifter is still a upright shifter, unlike the 3 Series and the other gas-powered iDrive 8 cars, save for the M cars. You do have a normal shifter, which will continue in the 4 Series for some time, I suspect, until it gets iDrive 8, maybe in that LCI, whenever that comes along. So for now, still dealing with the normal, quote-unquote, upright shift knob in the M440. As far as trim, this one has a really nice aluminum look patterned trim, which is an option. There are other trims you can get as well, but this one looks really nice. Has a little sporty touch, almost half emulates carbon fiber, not quite, but it's there with an aluminum flare to it. Looks really cool. We have the red interior as well, which looks awesome paired to Brooklyn gray. So overall, this is a really well-equipped M440 convertible. Premium package. It has the neck warmers, which are really nice, things like that. So this one's well equipped and nicely spec'd with the Harman card and the Brooklyn gray, red interior, all really good stuff. So that's going to do it for the inside of the M440 convertible. Let's hop outside and wrap up with our final thoughts. All right, so that is going to do it for this walk around and overview with the 2023 M440i xDrive Convertible. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and had a good time checking out the 440 with us today. If you have any questions about this M440, please drop them in a comment below and we will get back to you as quickly as possible. Or if you have suggestions for future videos, drop those in a comment down below as well. If you like the video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all our other social platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at BMW of Morristown. We're super active on all our socials. We respond to every comment, every DM, we respond. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to do it for this one, and we'll see you in the next one.